with the physical properties of metals. We already talked about heat. Let's talk about electricity. Obviously, if you find yourself tangled in a group of wires while watching this video, the reason is metals are very good conductors of electricity. You know why? Because metals allow electricity to pass through them. If you can see, aluminium foil over there is completing the circuit. If you're yet not sure, even the circuit is made up of a metal wire. So metals are usually very good conductors of electricity. But silver is the best conductor of electricity. But do you think silver would be used to make wires? No, absolutely not. Electric wires are made up of copper and aluminium because they are cheaper than silver. Metals are lustrous and can be polished. If you've ever watched yourself in a metal plate or something, whenever a metal light is reflected through a metal and in your eyes, the reason is because metals shine. That is why you spot women wearing a lot of jewelry. They go bling bling. Moving on, metals are generally hard except for sodium and potassium. This sodium and potassium are so soft that they can be easily cut with a knife. You can see the image of that. Metals are strong. If you're ever in doubt, you'll go through Bandra Worli ceiling and you'll see huge triangular shaped metal wires holding the whole bridge together. If you're not sure, just visit a construction sites. The pillars are made up of metals. Except sodium and potassium, obviously, if they can be cut with a better knife, you can imagine how soft they are, right? Metals are solid at room temperature. Obviously they are, but except mercury, which is a liquid metal, and gallium, which has a low melting point. You know what? I can melt a metal in my bare hands. Do you believe that? Sir, that isn't possible. There's no chance that is possible. I just said gallium has a low melting point. It has such a low melting point that it melts in your hands because its melting point is 29.78 and your hand temperature is 37.5 degrees Celsius. Metals have a high melting point and boiling point. Usually when you see water boiling, the metal vessel isn't even close to melting. So when water is going into the gaseous state, metal isn't even going into the liquid state. So I can surely say that metals will surely have a high melting point and boiling point. Except sodium and potassium, metals which have low melting point and boiling points. Metals have very high densities. You know why? Can you think of a metal which will float on water? No, there isn't. Why? Because they are highly dense and density will sink them underwater. Except sodium and potassium, metals which have low density. Metals are sonorous. That is, metals make sound when hit with an object. You just take any example which makes sound, right from your school bell to a guitar or a violin. All of them are made up of metals. Why? Because metals are sonorous. If you've ever seen a beggar on the road doing ching-ching with his lots of coins, that is because metals are sonorous. The school rings. More of this in the next module.